Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? Get this Palo Santo going. Gia, where'd you go? Hello, hello. Hello, how you guys doing? How you doing? Crew. Oh, Gia, you're gonna have to wait until Kagiso gets Fuka gets all the way on because it's not letting me. No answer from. Okay, let's see. Hello, boy. How you doing? Oh, there we go.
Hey, girly. Ooh, I'm dark.
Hi. I'm gonna swipe up and swipe down.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies.
To the
Yeah,
camera.
I can hear
You. Back away from the camera. I push the computer further away. Yeah. Just see your face.
Yeah. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, can't complain.
That's good. That's good. Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Ooh, loving the blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
love
Oh,
Of course you would be wearing.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm so excited.
Yes,
Super
that's
excited.
long awaiting this day, this interview. So, just to start off, can you tell us about yourself, Fuka? Who are you? And just explain to the people what you've been working on and yeah, things like that.
okay. Thank you very much. I am an author. I'm an author. The gift I've been given, is, as a spiritual healer. I'm a teacher. Teaching mostly in some of the spiritual lessons that I have learned over the days. I'm an interpreter, interpreting dreams and helping those who get messages, from the spiritual team via their dreams to get the messages that were meant for them.
Understood.
Beautiful.
Well,
Okay.
congratulations on the book. Let's start there. Yes.
I'm so which I'm excited to get into.
Yes.
And you just published it September 19th, that is?
Recently,
Yay.
yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Can you tell the people what's the name of your book and what is the general, because I know that it's an extensive book, right? So what's the general, overall basic summary, a quick summary about what they can expect to find within your book? So what's the title and what it's about?
Okay, will do. So the title of the book is MAFA TARO, and the book actually is about spirituality. You know, it's about spirituality, and it's a guide on spirituality. I can say, you know, centered around, some might say it's African spirituality, you know, and what you call this, yeah, pretty much centered around African spirituality, African spiritual systems, and yeah, a guide for those who starting out their spiritual journey, you know, who don't know exactly how to go about it, you know, it's very helpful for them. And even those who, you know, actually have been in spirituality for a while, you know, actually very deep in depth, and can find it helpful as well.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
Beautiful.
So you said the book is titled MAFA TARO. For those who don't know what does that mean?
What does that mean? That was my first question. What does MAFA TARO mean? If I'm saying that right.
Thank you. So MAFA TARO, you know, is actually Tswana, you know. It's Tswana, which is language found in Southern Africa. MAFA, and it's a play on words, you know. It's a play on words. You know, those who know Setswana, you know, what you call it, would actually, if I were to say it correctly, you know, say MAFA Amarar, you know, what you know, taking the structure properly. But, you know, MAFA means heritage, you know, heritage, inheritance. And what you call this, TARO means three, you know. So, you know, if I loosely translate it, you know, it means the three heritages. The three heritages, and it's a play on words, you know, what you call this, because, you know, what you call it, Taro, you know, also means three in Setswana, you know, but then when you put it together in a sentence, you say Mafa Amarar. So, you know, Taro, I picked that word because, you know, in the book, you know, I call this, there is a section, you know, that goes deep into cartomancy, you know, which is divination.
And matter of fact,
by
I do have your Oracle deck here.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
I do have it. I actually really like it. I'm still learning it. But I do love it. And for those who don't know, he has an Oracle deck. If you guys like an Oracle deck, go ahead and reach out to him.
Yeah.
It's really dope.
So some of the graphics, yeah, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple of them. They're falling out of my hand. But I love the way that you did that. But just quickly. But go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. So your question led us into it. So thank you. You know, so you know, I picked that word taro because, you know, I know many know of popular kind of cartomancy known as tarot, you know. So I knew that, you know, at least those who know about that or are interested in that might be drawn in by that word, seeing that word there, you know, because the rest of it is Setswana that many wouldn't know what it means, you know.
Yes.
Understood.
Mhm.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
It's the three heritages. Without giving too much away, can you tell me a little bit about what that is? Like what three heritages exactly
Yes.
is?
Awesome, 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 awesome. You know, mm, so the three heritages, um, it speaks about, us, us as people, us as persons, us as individuals, each and every one of us has three heritages. I call, what you call this, one of them I call the heavenly heritage, which we inherit from, what you call this, the divine planes, some may say God, or the gods for some, who have more than one God. And then the other heritages are earthly heritages that we get from our mother, and the heritage that we get from our father, and what you call this, our mother and her lineage, father and her lineage, because in the end, what you call this, we are here, because of the actions of our parents. We are here because of the actions of the ancestors of our parents, and we have in that way inherited life from them.
Understood. Understood.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Especially with when you get into spirituality, you can't really escape your ancestry. You can't escape your ancestors. There's no way to navigate, in my personal opinion, you can't navigate spirituality and not really tap into getting that deeper understanding of, your where you come from. And not just where you come from, but like really, really tapping into the ancestors who are still with us, right? Even those who never met, we have that a lot of people think that you walk around with one or two guys. You're walking around with your whole lineage at all time. You have the ability to tap into that, and I think that's powerful that you cover that within your book. I know that the book is heavily focused on self-actualization. So, how can someone begin their journey towards self-actualization using, I guess, MAFA TARO?
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. That's a really good question. It's a really good question. So, by reading the book, you will see that. Okay, what you call this? Okay, I'll start by saying this. Like today, many of the spirituality of many, what you call this, is focused on um, something else that is not yourself. What you call it,
Like
you know,
external things.
something external. What you call this, and MAFA TARO, is by reading it, by going through it, what you call this, it will direct you in changing the center of your spirituality, changing the center of your spirituality and placing yourself at the center of your spirituality, what you call this, what I always say, what you call this, is where your attention goes, energy flows, and whatever you place your attention on, it grows, cultivated, and it prospers, So, what you call this, with the focus that, you will be put on yourself, or with some of the practices that will guide you through practices like meditation, practices like what you call this, uh, divination, communication with your ancestors, what you call this. It will lead you deep into the journey of finding out about yourself, learning yourself, expanding your self-knowledge, and it is in this cultivating of self-knowledge and what you call this, that you will learn about yourself and begin your journey, in moving in the direction of self-actualization. You'll begin there in learning yourself. After a while, with some of the practices in there, what you call this, you will be learning not only to know about yourself, but also gaining a trust of yourself, a trust of uh, uh, your own your own knowledge, your own experiences, and your own experiments, and your own observations, what you call this, to be a source for you in finding the truth of any questions that you have, any anything you're curious about, and any guidance, what you call us, that you seek, and trusting yourself, to be a guide for yourself in anything that you do in the world and anything you seek to do in the world, anything you and anything else you seek to know, and you navigate the world.
And in your book, I know that you also go over communicating with your ancestors. And I think, as we're talking, what Gio was just going over, just that's a powerful thing to be able to do, right? So can you give us any tips or just certain points in your book that you covered when it comes to connecting with your ancestors?
Okay. Thank you. Very good question. So, connecting with your ancestors. There are a few ways, that you can use, what you call this, in terms of connecting with your ancestors. One way is, something that we're used to, what you call this, just use your voice, use your voice, speak to them, what you call this, as if they are here and they can hear you, because yes, they can hear, they can hear you, so one is just to speak to them with voice. We do this regularly, what you call this, we've all learned how to pray, what you call this, so it's pretty much, it's like praying, I'm not praying, what you call it, you're speaking directly, with to God, because as if God is here and God can hear you. So pretty much the same way, you would, if you have any particular ancestor you want to speak to, maybe a grandmother, grandfather, you would call them by name and speak to them as if they are here, and that's actually the reason why knowing the family tree is kind of important. It's important because you will have found out about who is in your line and find out their name so you can call them, speak to them that way. Another way you can actually connect with your ancestors is by having a journal, by having a journal, journaling it in it, whenever something comes to you, you can start your journal entry with dear ancestors, or what you call this, or whatever the name of whatever ancestor you actually want to address, so that there is that way via journal. Then another way, what you call this, is by an ancestral altar. Another way, you can have an ancestral altar, and you can have a place, in your house where you set something up, a little table, where you place offerings, food and water. But I always, when it comes to the issue of altars, what you call this, I always tell people that your body, your body
Is the altar.
is exactly, 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 exactly. And it is those ancestors that you are speaking to, which are the source, of this body. You inherited it from them, inherited it from them, and by treating your body with care and with veneration, you honor them.
Yes.
I
Agree.
agree.
Yes.
I do have a follow-up to that question, though. You said something interesting. You said knowing your family tree is important, but a lot of us who are, displaced, not on the continent, we from, those who had to deal with slavery don't have a lot of records sometimes, or don't know past the grandparents. What would you say to those people who don't know past a certain number of people, as far as their tree?
Well, with regards to the tree, with regards to the tree, the important thing, about the tree, or I guess, the, um, is that it starts you on a journey. It starts you on a journey to first, before even knowing the ancestors, which are no longer with us, to get to know the ones who are with us, because in terms of getting that knowledge, it's not gonna, you don't have it, because when I'm born as a baby, I don't have it, what you call this, I go through my teen years, maybe I'll be introduced to family members, but I don't really know much, the whole extent of it, but in starting this journey, I'll go, I'll start with the most immediate ones. I'll go to my mother and my father and ask, what you call this, what section of the tree do you know? Which family members do you know? They'll tell me, and I'll put it down on paper, and what you call this? Then I'll have that, But even their knowledge will be limited. Their knowledge will be limited, but they will enumerate, some people that and then after that, you're like, who do I know who's might be more knowledgeable? What you call this? They'll probably even say, it's likely, if there's an uncle that knows more, or an aunt that knows more, they'll direct you to them, but I think generally just naturally, if your grandparents are still alive, that'll be the next door, and it's go and visit grandma, it's go and speak to grandpa, you go to their parents, to them, and you go and you ask them about the tree, and they will give you more, they will give you more, they will expand more, they'll tell you about their siblings, they'll tell you about their parents, and what you call it, unless you're very lucky, it's rare that your your grandparents, that the parents of your grandparents are still alive. But those of us who still do have that, will have that opportunity to find that out, okay? And then be able to visit, but yeah, like that's actually the importance right there, because learning or having that desire to expand your family tree or know your family tree is going to put you on the journey of connecting with the ancestors that are still with us, because they are a source of knowledge, they are they're a source of knowledge, and that we can tap into.
Understood.
Yes. And another question that kind of reminds me as well, when I was looking on Amazon, when on in your bio, there is something in there that states that you were initiated by the celestial government. Can you explain to me what that is and how that kind of played out?
Awesome. Okay, let me start by explaining what I mean when I speak about the celestial government. Okay. So when you go into the book and you read the book, you will find where I enumerate about something I call the nature spirits. The nature spirits, these are beings, that so like one thing I've learned about the way our ancestors teach, they don't teach like we are taught today in school, what you call, so you sit in front of the teacher, in front of a chalkboard, and they teach through stories, through music, through games, what you call this. There is an emphasis on making learning fun, and so our ancestors, they created these, I guess I can say, stories, with these personified characters, you know, and these characters represent an aspect of nature, you know, and I call them the nature spirit. So when I speak about the celestial government, you know, I'm speaking about these nature spirits along with, you know, the divine spark that exists between inside each and every one of us. You know? So when I speak about the celestial government, that's what I'm speaking about. Combination of those things. And I remember there was a second part to your question.
Initiated by the celestial government. What does that mean? Yes.
Your government. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I have this gift, you know, I have this gift that I was never taught by anyone, you know,
anyone in this realm. You weren't taught by anyone in this realm.
Yes, you know, that's true. That's true. That's true. You know? And you know, so this gift is interpreting dreams, you know. So from a young age, I've been receiving dreams and receiving messages from the dreams and learning from those, you know. So pretty much my guidance comes from my dreams, and you know, I've learned a lot of things, you know, from looking at and interpreting the dreams, things that, you know, really, you know, what you call it, I guess I could say, you know, I'm not supposed to know, but I do know because it came to me in a dream, and oftentimes I would find out afterwards, later, you know, as I do some research that, you know, what you call this, find evidence, you know, physical evidence that what I had seen in my dream is true, you know. So yeah, you know, what you call. So my initiation has happened, you know, with me, you know, by that divine spark that is within me, you know, through my dreams. And yeah, you know, I think that ability to interpret dreams is, you know, what has facilitated, you know, I guess I could say conversation, you know, because yeah, many times, you know, when an answer comes to me, it comes after an internal desire to know about it. So, yeah. And then the question that I would, you know, might ask myself.
Understood.
And then another,
you know, and
go ahead.
When it came to the three heritages that you were discussing, let me make sure I'm saying this right. You know, basically the three heritages. What is? Can you kind of go over the totem and with the second one from material? The totems from material.
I see the totem. Okay. So no, that's very good. That's very, very good, you know. That's very good. So, hmm, hmm. Okay. So, okay. So, you know what you call this? In order to go into this, you know, I guess I will have to start by sort of going to and explaining, you know, how society, you know, at least here on the continent, how it's structured, you know. And well, it's kind of universal, but you know, I guess I'll go with something that I know very well. So the basis of society, you know, is the family. You know, it's the family, and you know, we actually kind of went through about that, where we're speaking about the ancestors and finding a family tree and everything. So it's the family, you know, and then which is the closest unit, you know, of society. And then when we go above that, you know, we find the tribe. You know, the tribe, you know, it's not as close to the family, but it's like a, you know, it's like a family, and you know, after that, you know, and normally bound together by either by uh, blood relations or bound together by how do I say? By, oh yes, you know what you call this, by a common a desire to make a common future, you know, a common future together, you know, that's the tribe. And then if you go above the tribe, you have the nation, you know, you have the nation, you know, and here on the, you know, so many times, you know, what you call this, I would say there's confusion, you know, because, especially here, you know, with regards to what is tribe, what is nation, you know, because of some issues in the past, you know, of colonization, some of us have come to believe that, you know, our nations are tribes, you know, because I'm Tswana, you know, what you call this, you know, the British, you know, would describe the Tswana as a tribe, but the Tswana is not a tribe, it's a nation, you know. Okay, and let me come back to your question. It's family, it's tribe, it's nation. Okay. So now, oh, actually, I missed one before that. It's family, it's clan. You know, it's you have family, you have your clan. You know what you call it? You know, normally, you know, family, blood relations, clan. You know, built by what you call this, blood relations as well. You know, like you know, I think you know many of the time we may even call them family friends. You know, that's usually you know what you call this, something that indicates that this is someone who's part of your clan. You know, and then as clans come together, different clans come together, there's a formation of the tribe, So now, here on the continent, every tribe, is represented by some sort of animal.
Okay.
Some sort of animal which is known for, So in Setswana, what you call this, you might be crow. Crow is elephant, So there are those who are known as crow, which are part of the crow tribe, the elephant tribe. There are those who are queen, crocodile, parts of the crocodile tribe.
Mm.
There are those who are Tao, which is a lion, a lion tribe, And these animals are usually animals that are, like within the within your immediate environment, So, for example, Tao, which is, lion, is found here on the continent, It's found here on the continent, what you call this. So many of those who are part of the lion, come from here, So even if, let's say, for example, I find someone, let's say I was Tao, or lion, part of the lion tribe, and then I found someone in Switzerland, in Switzerland, and I found someone, and I, was speaking, and then somehow it came out that, what you call this, they are from the lion tribe, what you call this. I would know, oh, it means your roots are on the continent of Africa, that's where you're from, and I would know that, okay, so me and him are connected in some way, and those are the totems. So I'm thinking, what you call this, so what you call this, I know the Native Americans, have something similar, where they have animals which represent, their tribal affiliations,
Yeah.
and I know they also they kind of immortalize. They used to. I don't know if it's still a thing that happens where they immortalize them by making some sort of, I think it's a totem pole or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And
Yeah.
for us who are not on the continent, how do we go about finding or discovering or realizing our totem? If I'm asking that correctly.
Okay. So this one, okay, one way, to go about finding it is to do the work that you are doing in your family tree, go to those who go to those who are older, grandparents, and ask, what you call this, ask if, what you call this, ask about what they know,
Mm-hmm.
what heritage they know about, where did we come from, what you call this, I think we ask these questions as kids, mostly to our parents, but we usually end with our kids, so that's one way, do research by asking,
Your family.
family member,
Mm-hmm.
find out about any clan affiliations, any tribal affiliations, if there are any, and through this investigative work, you may be able to find something that is uh, uh, that yields some results, and another way is, what you call this, I guess, which is more indirect, because sometimes you may ask and go and ask, and then you find that uh, uh, those who are still with you can only direct you to a location, a location, and there, it would actually require a bit of research. Hey.
You go, it's okay.
No worries.
I pulled my my cord.
Understood.
Go ahead.
Understood. What you call this? I guess this is another method which can be used with the first method, which is you are where you are right now, right? Find out what are the natural native animals that exist around, that exist around, that are around you, because what you call this, pretty much with this knowledge base, and find out about the animals, find out about where they are situated, because you may find that, for example, I think you guys are in the US right now,
Yeah.
So you may find, what you call this, that maybe, what you call this, that Louisiana has, certain animal that is different, that doesn't exist, in California, for example, or you'll find something that exists in New Mexico, doesn't exist in Kansas, So, and very often these animals, what you call this, being special animals, what you call this, they are often picked as totems. Oh, and then I guess I could say, what you call this, that's the second step of finding out, what you call this, what kind of animals exist, what kind of special animals exist, what kind of animals are endangered, what kind of animals are unique. And then, normally by combining these two, of the knowledge of the animals and the knowledge from that you get from speaking to your family and finding out where you're from, will answer most on what their totem is. What you call this. If there's also another thing that you can do, because now you have the knowledge, now you can ask, you can ask yourself, ask your ancestors, what you call this. I want to find my totem, please guide me, send me a message in my dreams, in your vision, and the answer will show up. You may dream, you will dream, You may dream of something, especially once you ask the question, you'll dream of something, an animal will show up to you, and combined with the knowledge that you have of the local fauna, you'll be able to identify that, oh, okay, that's the one. And then, what you call this, that will also help, in finding out more, what you call this, using the internet, what you call this, about your roots. But I often say, what you call this, let the internet be a secondary source, because, it's it's a tool used for propaganda, with propaganda there.
More for confirmation than anything else. I know for myself, when you talk about totems, I didn't do it through the first step that you said or the second step. I think it was, for me, well, one of my totems specifically scared the bejesus out of me. I kept having this dangling dream of this wolf, and I was just like, what does this wolf want with me? But after realizing Haitian, Taino, I'm like, oh, that's that indigenous Indian kind, and I'm like, that kind of makes sense now, cool puppy.
Yeah.
But before,
what mine came in my dreams as well. Well, I mean, I guess my totem is a butterfly, and
okay.
but mine is a butterfly, and I know that I was always attracted to butterflies. My first tattoo was of a butterfly on my right here. Is a butterfly. I didn't even get it redone, but it was a butterfly. But it actually was confirmed once I did ask my spirit team, even before I was aware of, the being able to connect with your ancestors and your guides and stuff. Before that, I was aware of totems, and I did ask for, verification or confirmation regarding which totem was for me, and I did get a big fat it was a huge monarch butterfly in my dream that was basically hovering over me, and it was protecting me from a lot of things that were happening in my dream state at that time. Okay. So I was able to get confirmation from my dream state.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you probably have more than one. Most of us have more than just, you can have a lot of different things.
I'm starting to think that I might have a wasp as a because I found I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think every time I know that's there's some weird stuff going on, I'll find a wasp in my house. And usually when I look it up, it means protection and stuff like that. So I was wondering if that was one of my totems or just my guides telling me I'm protected.
Okay.
Bug showed up all over my house.
Yeah, I was
another day.
I'm like, what the hell is going on? Shoot, I'm trying to get him out of my house, and I'm like, I don't want to kill it. I might have a family to go to, But geez, y'all gonna stop coming up in this house. You're gonna mess around and find out.
I hear you.
Oh, and that's another. I had another question. Well, you go over so many things within your book. I think that those of you guys who are watching, it is on Amazon. It's $9.99. So make sure you guys purchase it and support, because you go over a lot of things. I know that you go over, obviously you said the self-realization, connecting with your higher self, communicating with your ancestors, cartomancy, chakras. I mean, there was there was 17 different chakras that you mentioned in the book that I actually have never, I was never aware of. So I thought that was pretty cool. Did you want to briefly go over, I had a different question, but talking about the chakras, you had 17 of them in there, and one of them was the earth chakra. It was
the sector. I think you
were fire. I would love to for you to explain that a little bit.
Awesome. So okay, awesome. So really Okay, so really, in the book, I go into the seven main chakras. What you call this? I say, starting with the earth chakra. Earth chakra is what many know as the root. Root chakra. I call it the earth chakra. I like earth, because it, I guess, it exactly, like it gives sort of like, just in our understanding of the word, what the root chakra is about. This,
and I love that.
root is also is good, but yeah, pretty much focus on what is tangible,
Yes, the third dimension
then,
here, and in order for you to balance out your root chakra, I mean, the first thing is to connect with nature and, ground and meditate and stuff like that. Connect with the earth, so I think that is actually a great way to help people, especially for kids. I think that would be, to teach them about chakras and letting them, or just like, giving that understanding of like, the root chakra is connected to this dimension. It's, you're grounding yourself in this physical plane, the earth, the ground, you know what I'm saying. But I love that. I really love that.
awesome, and what you call this, one thing I did, what you call it, is I realized, okay, so there's the system of chakras, and there's the system of the tree of life that many call Kabbalah, and I realized a connection between the tree of life and the chakras, so these two things, they are connected, and what you call this, I could say many times they are seen as separate systems, speaking about separate things, what you call this, but really they are different systems, what you call this, really speaking about the spirit, about spirituality and the spirit, and what you call this, so yes, it's the earth chakra, it's the air chakra, also known as the sacral chakra. It's the fire chakra, also known as the solar plexus chakra. It's the water chakra, also known as the heart chakra, throat chakra. I also term it as the sound chakra, the throat and the sound chakra. Next is the light chakra, also known as the brow or the third eye chakra. And then, there is, what I call the Seka chakra, what you call this, so the time chakra, what you call this. This is a hidden chakra that, what you call this, any, there isn't much known about, what you call this, about it, and then there is the crown chakra, which I also term the spirit chakra, and the second chakra, it came to me as I was in the book. It came to me in a dream, call this in this dream, either one of my ancestors or my higher self was like, Seka has been forgotten about. You need to bring more awareness about Seka, and Seka, is a nature spirit, what you call this, a nature spirit found in the Kashitic school, Kash, some may know it as the Kingdom of Kush, and this is the nature spirit of universal time, the nature spirit of universal time, and this is the time chakra, dealing with manifesting, and you know, creating and bringing things into being, you know, bringing things into the physical world, you know, and yeah, those are the chakras, and pretty much every chakra connects back to the tree of life, you know. What you call this, you know, I think, you know, if anyone wants to go and go through that because it's extensive, you know, they can definitely refer to the book.
Awesome. That's
Mhm.
Yes.
I have another quick question. I think we're over, but I have another quick question I think is important. You know, with the book being called MAFA TARO, and then there being, you know, a lot of, I guess, uh, you know, it being kind of apparently made for the continent. How is it only for, oh, Jesus. Is someone who's not on the continent,
Don't
right?
mind me.
Or someone who's not on the continent, or somebody who's not necessarily practicing Cushitic or Kemetic spirituality, can they also gain knowledge from this book? Is it specifically for those who are interested in Cushitic or interested in Kemetic, is all, you know, whatever, whichever word terms you want to use, or any of the more prominent Afro or African spiritualities? Like, is it only for those people, or is it a book that's for most people? Like, what would you say in regards to that?
Okay. You know, so you know, it's not, you know, it's not specifically, you know, for for uh, for someone who is on the continent, you know. I can say for I can say that anyone of spiritual background, anyone who really wants to get into spirituality, you know, will find it useful, will find it very informative. You may, you know, what you call this, you may practice, you know, you may be from, and, you know, actually, you know, what you call this, okay, it's for a wide, it's for a wide, it's not for anyone specific. You know, you may be someone who is from a Christian background. You know, I'm from, you know, what you call this, you know, a Christian background. You know, I was raised with the Bible. You know, what you call this. So you may be from whatever background you're from. You know, whatever background you're from. This was for you. You know, what you call this. And I would say, you know, what you call this, specifically kind of targeted to anyone, you know, who is of African descent, you know, what you call this, whether they're on the continent or not on the continent, anyone who, you know, what you call this, you know, may consider themselves Black, you know, it's for you. You know, you read this, you get into it, you will find value from it. For anyone who is interested in spirituality, you know, and really wants to deepen their spirituality, know more, like there is knowledge that which is in there that is very helpful, and you know, you get it, you will find value
Awesome.
in terms of your spiritual journey.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I haven't even finished it. I think that it's amazing. There's so many things that I have yet to even haven't even heard of in the book, and I just think that it's brilliant. So I definitely suggest those who are watching, and then those who are watching the replay, to purchase the book, and because it's very informative. Also, whenever you get a chance, we can drop
I'll add the link
in the comment section for sure.
Yes. Thank you so much. What you gonna say?
If someone who is interested in linguistics, languages, this book is very good for them. Okay, please continue.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was definitely an informative interview, and congratulations again on your new book. And guys, I'm gonna drop the links down below. I know the ebook is available. Book 1 of the paperback is available, and I believe book 2 will be released very soon. So just keep a lookout for book 2. And so the ebook has book 1 and book 2. It's the complete book, but the paperback will be split up into 2 parts. So I'll put those links in the description. Go check it out, guys. Thank you again, Fuka, for this interview. It was informative.
Yes, thank you, Fuka. We super appreciate it. Thank you for answering all of our questions. I know it is really, really early where you're at because you're in South Africa. So I know that I know it's probably like you're like, okay, let me get off of this thing.
But it's really a pleasure, being here. Thank you so much, for the opportunity. Thank you so much for the platform. Thank you so much, for all the wonderful questions. And I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy for the wonderful interview. To be here, with you two lovely ladies. And very thankful and happy that for the welcome. Definitely feel welcome.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much for being here again. And then we'll definitely have to spin another, do this again eventually, and then go from there. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. We shall see you guys next time.
All righty, bye. Bye, guys. Bye.